For a while, Thoughtspace only had molds made by MVP, but it seems like they wanted to diversify, and so today I'm going to be throwing their latest 3 molds, which are 3 of the 4 molds made by Discraft. Don't worry about what you're about to see on the ground, but each of these is pretty similar to a Discraft mold that either is still around or was retired. The release that was furthest back from us is the Thoughtspace Persona. I think it's pretty flippy 7-speed. Whoa. It's a retooling of the old Discraft XL mold. This is kind of an OG Discraft disc, and the Persona that I have here is very flat and feels more shallow, but very similar. So I do think this is retooled, not a 1-for-1, which is not going to be the case for the latest mold that came out. Potentially. The last 2 drops that Thoughtspace has had with Discraft is the Vessel in the Vex Breaker plastic, which is very similar to a Jawbreaker Z Flex. Maybe it's the same. Whoa, that's beefy. Okay, good. We got 2 sides of the coin here, but I think it's a retooled or maybe just straight up the Ringer Top Zone GT from the battle packs last year. And lastly, this is their new 12-speed, 12, 5, -1, 2, I believe, are the official numbers. But where I unbox these over on my second channel where all the disc nerds congregate, a lot of people were saying that this is like this disc, the Captain's Thrasher. I have an interesting theory that I'll share with you guys as I'm walking from the tee pad to the putt, where I did decide beforehand to throw the Requiem as my actual shot and just warmed up with the other 2 so we could see those initial flights. But the Captain's Thrasher here is 12.502 and feels very similar to this disc. You guys can decide what you think for the mold, although I personally don't really see that big of a difference. I do think these fill out some of the lineup for Thoughtspace, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit in the rest of this video, but mostly I want to see how good I can score at my local course, Lower Badlands, as a part of my bad reviews. Short shots, long shots, top of the world shot. On this leaderboard, if I get last, typically one of these is getting given away in my bounty bin. However, today, I think these discs are good enough that I can get first. So if I'm not the best score on this leaderboard right now, I'll tell you about what I'll do probably after hole 9. And it's definitely not related to the stuff that you saw in my basement. Requiem. Come on, let's start with the birdie. Nice. I'm not a really big off-season speculator about which pros are moving where. However, if this is the Captain's Thrasher or a retooled Captain's Thrasher, that is very interesting because Misty Gannon is one of the captains of Discraft, and so it would feel surprising for them to give such a similar mold as a lease to a different company. But I'm excited to have it as the distance driver today. It feels more like controlled distance to me, not gonna be a crazy bomber, but that'll mean it can lace some fairways and be smooth and throw big hyzers that give me a 15-foot putt to start with the bird. And that's how we like to start. That's why you putt with putters. Persona really wanted to play that long position that the basket used to be in. Birdie on 1 always feels good. Hopes to have a couple of warm-up throws before I have to throw the real one. Hole 2 is 312 feet up the hill. It's kind of become tradition in the series to throw each mold on subsequent holes until we've thrown all 3, 4, 5 molds, however many I have. So I think we're gonna throw the Persona, because 312 up the hill is pretty far for the Vessel. That thing is such a nice flyer. I think it's probably a little short. The Persona is an interesting mold to me because Thoughtspace has an MVP made 7-speed that's a flippy 7-speed. The nuance here is a 7-speed that Thoughtspace has that has similar flight numbers to the Persona, but it's made by MVP. I do think the Persona is much flippier and much shallower feeling. I think a lot of players will have an easier time throwing it than the nuance, but both of them are super easy flyers. Persona probably just a little less glide and a little more flip, but to me, that feels like the only mold that is not filling a hole in the lineup that Thoughtspace had with their new Discraft collab series. Oh. 1 through 2 is no stress, but if I want to shoot 9 down here, I can't miss any more of those putts. Got to put all the 20-footers in the basket. I'm bucking the trend. That basket is way back there. Never seen this position before. Recently, it's been kind of a nice flat to hyzer shot in the trees. Now it's behind the trees. This calls it 312, which is not bad, but it does mean I want to throw the driver. And instead of throwing the Vex Breaker Requiem, I'm going to throw the Parallel. I keep wanting to say ESP Swirl because the extra little wrinkle that I wanted to add to today's video is to make it a birdie or die video, which is not something I've done in a while, meaning that I have to birdie with every single mold, otherwise it gets given away, even if I hit the score. Wow, this is tricky. Oh no. There's a big hyzer. That feels like double cheating. I took the hyzer and I missed the hyzer gap and I still have a putt. Oh, maybe I should have kept the tradition alive because I did throw that Vex Breaker vessel and it's just about as close as the Requiem. However, I'm glad I threw this guy. A birdie's a birdie. Wow, both of these are saved, which is good news for the long term, but bad news because the next hole is a potentially eagleable par 4 that I'm now gonna rip the Persona on. Oh, I wonder how much hyzer I have to put on this. Hole 4, 547. Do think there's a left to right, which is even worse for this, but I can just try to throw on super hyzer because if I fly straight, the basket is a little left, upshot with the vessel exactly what it's made for, and I guess focusing on, maybe I just wait to birdie with this and really try to rip a, I think I've always failed in these birdie or die challenges because I focus on getting all the discs to birdie rather than throwing the best disc for the shot. I got 15 more holes and I only need to birdie with 3 more discs. I'm gonna try to take my time. Little head left to right, we're gonna throw this parallel Requiem because I do think it's a little straighter because I threw both the vessels and the parallel version of the vessel was a little straighter than the Vex Breaker. So try to give it a little turn, get ourselves a putt. By a little turn, I mean just like hyzer flip it down the right side a little. That's not far enough. Holy crap, I know this is downhill, but now I'm wishing I would have given this any of the turn that I wanted to. It came out of my hand on like a little hyzer, and I got a just outside circle 2 putt. Oh no, sit. No, I pulled it. Good start, good start. Hole 6, par 4, 734. Would love to throw one of the Requiems, but I think we're gonna go Persona. The gap's getting bigger as the leaves are falling, but I think just trying to punch a little hyzer at the gap, maybe a lot of hyzer actually, because this thing's pretty flippy and we have a left to right, is perfect. That tree that you can see in the distance is about 400 to 410 feet away. Do not want to be stuck behind it, so maybe more hyzer than I think, or more height. Just try to have a good shot out there. Just fade in front of it, please fade in front. Wow, that is flippy. Don't hit the tree. Yes, it's in front. Wow, I sounded so sad when I said don't hit the tree. I don't know why I sounded like that. I need to find some holes to throw the vessel on. This Persona was a little shorter than I thought. I was hoping to get me close enough to chuck an upshot with the vessel, but I think I'm still like 340 feet out, and that's just a little too far for me with that disc. 355 to the basket from here, so wow, this is actually a pretty big shot. Nice and downhill. It's a slightly more stable Requiem, the Vex Breaker plastic. I don't really get that naming, to be honest with you, Vex Breaker. But I don't have to. Not my disc. Just get under it. It's a little high. That's fine. Oh hey, it's got much further up here than I anticipated. Oh. I'm not putting with that disc anymore. 0 for 2. And since the Persona was thrown off the tee, it's safe. So now it's just the 2 vessels, which honestly feel like they could be my favorite approach molder, at least way up there. Top 2, top 3, just based on the feel and the plastics that they've come in so far. So I'm hoping I can actually throw them here soon. And it looks like I'm gonna get my wish. This is in the same position. Also helps that we got I'm mostly right to left. It felt like a tail right to left, but this doesn't seem a touch far. It says 322, so I think the parallel is a little straighter. And I like that you can already get 2 different plastics that fly 2 slightly different ways. This one just feels so good. And I love the overstability. Just wonder if it's too shallow on my backhand. Don't have to worry about that right now. Well, we have to worry about it with this one, I guess. Swing left, skip, skip. Yes, come on. Let's go. I'm being completely honest. I didn't expect to be stepping up to hole 7, 5 down, and only needing to birdie with this one to finish my birdie or die challenge. So we have the Vex Breaker vessel uphill. It doesn't get as little ground play as you might think because it's not super flexy. It's kind of like a half flex. I feel like the zones, I don't remember the 2024 run enough from the Jawbreaker Z Flex to know if this is similar. Well, it's time to jog your, not over here. Well, it's time to jog your memory, buddy. Because I have cap wrap from that run right here. Jawbreaker Z Flex. Let's see just how flex. This does feel a bit flexier, but my guess is the rim is just thicker on this because the flight plate feels about as flexy as this one. Feels a little stiffer here, but I'm gonna guess it's the same jobber because he flexed plastic, if not just a new run of the same ingredients. Still not time yet, sorry. Has enough stiffness and enough give to be a disc that I'd really like. We're gonna have to throw it on a little anhyzer and hope that it gets to flat and gets a little skip. Get off that. Oh, wasn't enough. Just trying not to get stabbed over here. Great layup. Can't be too mad. So it was a good hole for this disc, but again, I got plenty of holes left. I'm gonna try to not force it. I just gotta find a way to have it not be nagging at the back of my mind that I need to birdie with it. All right, this basket, you can see right down that area. One of the trickier shots on the course, you can try to throw a straight forehand that gets past those bushes and skips right, or a flex backhand, or just try to get lucky down the middle. And I think that's what I'm gonna try to do with the Persona. Just get through those trees, get lucky. It's about all I can expect. These Requiems might have worked, but that's also what I'm liable to do, so. Now you can see the two ways to play the hole. Where there's a will, there's a way. Not bad at all. I don't know what's happening. That was great. Patience paid off. Got another good option for this guy. This basket is straight up and to the left. I'll try to highlight a gap if you guys can see it down the fairway that I would like to hit on a little hyzer, mostly pushing straight and then getting a skip. Luckily there's already a guy in the water grabbing discs, so if I shank it, I should get it back. But I think I can throw it well. Get through. Yes, that's the gap. Oh, barely any skip. Hit a log. That's my best shot ever on this hole, though. If I'm being honest, I know we're early on in the video, but I don't know if there's a single non-Discraft made Thoughtspace mold or disc that I like more than any of these. Maybe it's just because I'm playing really well. I'm super prone to like a playing good bias, but I've liked these discs a lot. Oh man, I'm loving the right side and the basket is catching it. Hole 2 proved to be the exception, not the rule, which I am very grateful for. Hole 10, they're calling this 230. It looks closer than that, but it's definitely a vessel hole. Parallel, okay. Dude, ESP swirl is just so in my brain for this. Just kind of flat up to the left. Since it is uphill, it's gonna actually make the disc a little more overstable. So I'm gonna try to run up on this opposite side of the tee pad so I can throw it as flat as possible and let the disc kind of swing back. And I'd rather be more on the hillside than down the hill because it slopes away. So I'm gonna throw the straighter version compared to this. But this round is going better than I expected. So after this shot, I think it's time we, until the top of the world, and check in. Maybe I'm at double digits. That'd be crazy already. Heck, this is so good. What? My lenses have been broken. It's been stuck at this focal length, only more in than that. It's been for like 2 weeks, ever since I filmed this crazy video that's gonna be coming out sometime in December. I may or may not have filmed through the night and the lens and everything got dewy. My game is fixed this video, but also my lens is fixed. It's not a big difference, but when you got small arms, it means the world. And just like that, we made it to the top of the world shot. 12 under par, I think. Like I said, I don't know what's going on, but today's round is fixing everything. It fixes the camera, my game is getting fixed. This is making me think a bit about how I build my bags, because I found myself really loving this type of, I would call it like an 11 speed, 12 speed. It's a 12 speed, it gets good distance, but it's so controllable. And then this approach disc, I really like. Plenty of stability. Hopefully I don't get 3 bogeys and go back to 9 down or worse, but I'm debating keeping these like for my actual bag. Everything's gonna be changing in a month when I move, which is a part of the reason why the things that you saw earlier today are my mystery boxes, which I'm launching in this video. They typically sell out very fast. Every single box will have either a custom or prototype special disc in it, and they're all just going in mystery boxes. The boxes have one base plastic disc, at least one custom or prototype, like tour series, something special disc, some of them signed by pros. I'm basically getting rid of most of my collection because I don't want to have to move across the country with it, and really paring down to only the discs that I need. So some of these will likely go in mystery boxes as well. Also, if you want to help support, this is one of the best ways to do that. The boxes will be linked on my site. So if you want to snag one, feel free to do so down in the link in the description, and I'll get them shipped out very quickly. Downhill, 360-ish feet, I believe. Tailwind with a little right to left. I'm thinking my play is going to be a forehand with the other Requiem, but it's always tradition. You throw at least one of each mold off the top, and it's also been tradition to throw them in the water. I'm feeling like today might be a little different. All right, Requiem off the top. You can't get that much closer, come on. Persona, jeez. Oh, turn more, please. Oh, there's a tailwind. Thank goodness that's so flippy. I totally miscalculated the tailwind. How wide are you guys? Wide enough. Oh my gosh, come on. Oh. Dude, I don't know why I'm feeling dialed. Gotta be the putting putters, then one shot here on out. Holy crap, that was crazy. Oh, that's so good, just a little righter and lower. That's it. Glide left, left. Oh. Oh, I hope you enjoyed those shots. Let's finish this round out. Holy crap, I like these discs a lot. If you feel like you need any of them, I'll also leave them linked down in the description, because you can almost always find the best prices on Infinite, which is where they'll be linked, and a lot of stuff is on sale. I guess this is the sales part of the video, sorry about that, but my Sphinxes got restocked because we're out of cool colors, so now if you want to grab one, it's on sale right now. I think they're $2 or $3 off, and there's some insane color combos, so if you've been holding off, Black Friday is coming up, but if you want to get your shopping done right now and support me, those are some of the best ways to do it. Well, I've collected my 1.5 million discs. I did think this was closer. Oh, and I thought that was too high. Another basket that's moved positions. Now we're off to the left a little bit. So I think you just gotta throw it straight down the gap and let it fade, which is a little better for this one. Get there. That didn't seem great. I feel like I threw it in here, which I'm hoping is wrong. Oh, wow, almost. I don't know how many circle 2-putts I've had today. This one's kind of right. There's a cusper here. Two to play. This is by far my PR on this course in general, not even just in the series. Let's keep it that way. And it starts with a hole that I think I finally have the right disc for, which is a vessel. I haven't had this type of overstable approach disc in like any of the other bad reviews videos I filmed, because this basket is straight ahead. Wow, there's so few leaves here. I like taking this kind of flexi route around the outside, fading back in, because the basket's in a bowl almost dead ahead, but you can't really reach it unless you come in from the high side. But my goal is to hit this gap high, flat to a little turn, and let it push and fade at about 220 feet, which I think is where the hole is. Maybe listen for some change. But yes. Oh, it's so short. I thought that was perfect, and I'm like 50 feet short. I guess the ideal disc for me here would have been a fairway. Oh, there's not even a putt because of all this stuff. So I gotta chop down a forehand at it. Man, I can't believe how short that landed. Oh, come on. Oh. One last hole. I think even with a bogey, I'm shooting my just general course PR. But a birdie, I think, would be 14 under, which I knew it was out here. And luckily, some of the holes are in the shorts, which definitely helped today. I think this is the perfect shot for one of those Requiems, probably parallel. I might want more stability, though, because it's a 12-speed. But this Discraft Thoughtspace collab has been pretty sweet. I'm excited to see what they continue doing. Because one interesting wrinkle is that MVP hasn't seemed to lease any new molds to these companies in a long time. I can't think of a new Mint, Thoughtspace, Jester discs, Wild discs, or any of the like that have a new mold from MVP. They've all kind of looked outside. I don't know if that's a supply deal because MVP is so popular, but I'm glad whatever made Discraft and Thoughtspace link up, they put out some good discs. Let's end it with another bird. Oh, get up. Ah, for 14 under and one of my best rounds in a review video ever. My PR on this course and an incredible send-off birdie. Come on. Oh! Oh. It was a good attempt. Let's say that much. Holy cow. I guess I'll have to settle for 13 under par. And I think settling is the wrong word to use there. Those are some sweet discs. I'm really interested to see what that U-disc rating is. I was gonna put these in as bonuses, so some people would get boxes with 6 discs instead of just a 5, but mystery boxes are available now. Keep your eye on that link because I might throw some more up with these extra discs as I continue reviewing them and needing to not move with them. Thank you to everyone who supported me with those or just watching the videos. 287. One of my highest round ratings on U-disc ever. That's about all. Don't know if we'll have any more bad review videos before I move. If not, this is a great way to end it. Maybe I don't do it just to make sure we end on this, because that was, I hadn't even like scratched 9. And then I scratched 13 and then didn't get a birdie on the last 3 holes. Woo. Thanks for watching. See you soon.